So you're a handyman, you're a tradesperson, you need that crew cab or double cab pickup, you can't wait for the Cybertruck. Maybe the MAXUS T90 EV is the one you should be waiting for. First fully electric pickup truck in the UK and Ireland. MAXUS T90 is available as a diesel in other markets. I'm not sure if it actually ever came to the UK as a diesel, but it definitely didn't come to Ireland as a diesel anyway. So this is based on a combustion engine vehicle, and they've changed the gubbins around to make it all electric. Big MAXUS badge across the front of it, an absolutely ginormous grille. And when you look into it, you can see your parking sensors, your radars, etc. But massive fan inside. Let's have a look inside to see how much space is in underneath the bonnet. Hopefully it's not a double pull. Down. There we go. Huge, absolutely massive space. So as you can see, that what they've done is they've put the electric motor in underneath, and we'll talk about the stats of that electric motor, but there is plenty space for our frunk inside there. This is a rear wheel drive only. Didn't get that down enough. So it's not an all-wheel drive, unfortunately. You have full LED daytime running lights and indicators on the top, actually really nice. And then you have your high-low beam module. Unfortunately, it is halogen. There is some fake air curtain stuff going on underneath there. Moving down along the side, you actually don't have, and you see this on the fake SUVs or the SUVs that are trying to be SUVs, you have that cladding around the wheel arch. No cladding around this wheel arch. 17-inch wheels, full alloys. Not sure if they're big enough, to be quite honest. They are 245/65 17s. We'll talk about the suspension when we're out for a drive. We have a running step on the side, large wing mirror with indicator built in, not blind spot unfortunately. Body coloured A, B and C pillar. No roof rack up on the top, but you do have these and they come in with they don't come in as an option extra, they're coming on it. Body coloured door mirrors. Let's see what the opening apertures are like. Not bad in the front. The back is a small bit, it wouldn't be 90 degrees, but you definitely get in. You can't open this only with regards to the, there's a switch on the inside of the door, which I should have done before I started this. And what I find with that switch, what I find with the door actually is it's a small bit folded metal-y, because that's what it is. There is no, and you've got AC and DC in that, and we'll talk about that charging speeds in a second. Big bed at the back, and you've got your drop down. Capacity in the back is 1,000 kgs, and the MAXUS T90 EV can actually tow 1,500 kgs braked. On the back you have your reversing camera here, you've got your handle, you've got that big MAXUS sign in black, and then you've got the LED rear running lights, but there are halogen brake lights. T90 in the regular standard, and then the E in the anodized blue, and the V in the silver. You've got some lights for your license plate, your SAIC Motors, who are the parent company, handle up here, and a fully lined bed. Some tie-off points around the sides. Good capacity with that 1,000 kg, and the fact that you can tow up to 1,500 kgs as well. Yeah, it's imposing on the road. Let's have a look on the inside. Like the outside, the inside is very much a commercial utilitarian offering. You've got a lot of hard plastics going on. You've got the adjuster for your wing mirrors. You've got a bit of gloss black. You've got a bit of shiny plastic chrome here. You've got a bit of matte plastic, and then you've got your electric windows front and rear. You've got your central lock, and then you've got your window lock as well, and the button in on the door for the charging port on the right hand side. Big door bin for a bottle and for lots of storage. You've got your step, and then you've got your silver sill plate. Over my right knee you have your headlight adjuster. You've got a small little pocket here, and you've got a coffee cup holder that slides out. Moving it down across, you have your polyurethane steering wheel, is what they're calling it. No buttons on the left hand side, and on the right hand side it's just audio, track forward and back, phone, mute, volume up and volume down. There's no adaptive cruise control on the MAXUS T90 EV. Left hand side is wipers, right hand side is lights. For whatever reason, I just keep on getting them mixed up this year. Maybe predominantly all of my cars that I test drive, the indicator and the lights are on the left hand side, so I'm going to indicate and the wipers are going crazy. The screen itself is very analog. On the left hand side, it's how much charge or power you're putting back in. It has the analog battery level. You've got some indicator lights. You've got that central screen, which reminds me of the LDV EV80 van. And I think this technology and some of the pieces here is a small bit behind where MAXUS has gone with the likes of the eDeliver 9, eDeliver 3, etc. On the right hand side, because this is a UK model, we've got our miles per hour on the outer ring and then kilometers per hour on the inner ring. Steering wheel is rake adjustable, not reach, but the driver and passenger seats are fully adjustable electronically. Down in front then, at the right in front of my knee is the bonnet release. Some storage on the top of the dash, but pens maybe, but anything else I think will be scooting all over the place. You've got your 10.25 inch screen. It has basic enough controls. It's got Apple CarPlay as standard, but it has this QD link. It isn't Android Auto. It's kind of like a phone mirroring thing. You've got your radios, you've got your Bluetooth connection to your phone, and you can edit the widgets that are actually on the screen. That's pretty much it. There isn't any sat nav built in, but again, you can get that through. There's a user manual. Home button. Underneath that, you've got touch, climate control, AC. You've got 2 USB Type A's and a 12 volt cigarette lighter. Your gear selector, reverse neutral drive, is that one from the LDV EV80 van. You've got power mode, you've got eco mode, you've got traction control off, and you've got hill descent, in fairness to it. You've got a manual handbrake, which is great to see. You've got your little cubby holder in here, and it is adjustable. You've got a lockable glove box, which is actually pretty decent. Seats are comfortable enough. Up on top, you've got your sun visor. You've got your lights, whether they're on and they're halogen, and then on passenger and driver there's no mirrors to be looking at yourself. You've got a felt roof, no grab handle on the driver's side, but there is a grab handle on the passenger side. But on the A pillar of the passenger side as well, you have a grab handle, but there's no handles at all on the driver's side. This seat is set for me. I'd like it to go down a bit more, but again, we'll talk about that on the drive on the out when we're outside. Let's have a look on the back to see what space we have in that second row of seats. In the back of the T90 EV, door's actually not bad, good opening, and I've got space in underneath that driver's seat, even though I'd like it to come down a bit more. For the passenger, it's great. It's not really a third seat in the middle, but you'd sit there. A small bit of a transmission tunnel, about 2 inches high. You've got a 12 volt, and then you've got an AC 220 volt, but the actual opening is a continental opening. It's not a British, UK and Ireland. Little armrest with 2 cup holders. I can't see anywhere to put the, there might be a place to store the chargers in underneath the rear seat. No. Tyre repair kit, and that's pretty much it. So the bag is velcroed on the back, and so you'd leave it maybe up in the central pillar there. I'm 188 centimeters, 6'2". A small bit more thigh support would be nice, but it's not bad. There's about 2 or 3 centimeters at the legs, and at the roof then there's a good 4 or 5 centimeters. And these headrests are adjustable. Yeah, in the back now, it's actually not a bad place to be. We've got my electric windows as well. How far down do they go? They're not one touch. All the way. And you've got a little halogen courtesy light. You've got grab handle on the top. You've got a grab handle on the B pillar on both sides, depending on how much the driver is going. But with a rear wheel drive or 2-wheel drive pickup, I'm not sure they're going to be going too much off-roady. Let's take it out for a spin. Some stats before we take off. It is a 90 kilowatt hour ternary lithium battery from CATL. It's saying it has an NEDC range of 323 miles or 520 kilometers. When I got in, it was around 251 miles because this is set up for UK. And I'll convert that and put it on the screen. Consumption, it's saying 17.9 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, and on the screen we're seeing it in miles, which is an unusual. We are getting 48.1 or 48.2 kilowatt hours per 100 miles. So Again, I'll convert that on the screen as to what we're actually getting. It's a 180 kilowatt motor with a maximum torque of 350 Newton meters. The size of it, it's 5.365 meters long, it's 1.9 meters wide and 1.809 meters high. With that cargo box, it's 1.48 meters long, 1.51 meters wide, and 530 meters. Now you can get roller locker shutters, you can get hard top canopies, etc. We talked about the halogen headlights, we talked about the 17-inch alloys, and we talked about the 10.25-inch screen. Weight, it is, let me just click on this, gross vehicle weight is 3,300 kgs, and then without passengers and driver it's 2,300 kgs with a max front axle load of 1,100 kgs. Rear axle load is 1,950 kgs. Payload of 1,000 we've talked about already. Gross towing weight, GTW is 4,050, and towing capacity with a brake trailer is 1,500. Charging, it can take up to 11 kilowatt at AC and 80 kilowatt on DC. Charging time, they do 20% to 80%, and it is in 45 minutes. There's a 5-meter Type 2 lead with it. You can get MAXUS Intelligent on board, which is our telematics, and that is via subscription. Front and rear disc brakes ventilated. A suspension on the front is double wishbone, the suspension on the rear is leaf spring, and the angle of attack on the front is 27 degrees and the angle of exit on the back is 24 degrees. We have ISOFIX in the rear, we have a reversing camera, parking sensors front and rear, rain sensing wipers, automatic lights in the sense of they come on when it's dark, not auto dimming, airbags, driver and passenger front and side. Pretty much everything else. We've got the power outlets, we've got the LEDs. Let's take it out for a drive and see what it's like. So you have to make sure that it has the ready seating position. I'd like it lower, it just won't go down any lower. So I'm 6'2", 188 centimeters, and it has that LDV EV80 whine, that pedestrian noise. Central locking clicks in once you go over a certain mile per hour. Visibility is really good, just because you're up so high, you've got so much glass around you. I'd like if there were blind spot on the wing mirrors, but unfortunately not. But out the back, good visibility. You just have to remember the length, and it's great that it has that reversing camera. It is, because it is leaf spring in the back and double wishbone in the front, and it's set up for weight, and when it doesn't have weight in it like today, I find it very jumping around the place, and that's just because I haven't been able to put any weight in the back of it. Indicators on the right hand side, I'm getting used to it anyway, Derek. With that rear wheel drive, some people may be turned off by it, but acceleration is nice and smooth. Is there enough power in it? It'd be interesting with the load. It'd be interesting with load in the back and towing. It doesn't have auto hold. The 3 modes are power, eco, and then normal. Hill descent is decent to have. As we talked about already, it's got that manual handbrake. So we're at the traffic lights here just in Sallynoggin. Let's see what the takeoff is like. Because it hasn't got that auto hold, it starts to roll. Yeah, it's grand. Like, it's good. It's got good Newton meters of torque, and the electric motor is good, a decent size. Good size battery in it, in all fairness. It is very jumpy. It is very jumpy, and that's on the 17-inch wheels. I'm just wondering with the larger wheels would it make a difference. So visibility all around is good. Steering wheel, it is utilitarian. It is that what do they call it? Some type of plastic, polypropylene or something like that on the actual specifications. It's not leather anyway, that's for sure. I wonder what the buttons on the left-hand side were. Probably came over from the diesel variant, the T90 diesel. But yeah, it's the kind of thing you need now. Do you need a rear-wheel drive pickup, a 2-wheel drive pickup? Maybe you need the load capacity, maybe you need to be able to carry people and a load and you don't want to use a van. There are a lot of these out and about. I just wonder how much of them are actually used for all-wheel drive, off-roading, Let me know in the comments if the MAXUS T90 EV is something that you're interested in. The different on the actual little menu button between the two analogs, we have a range, or range as we like to call it, and that's in miles because it's a UK car. You have remaining distance to service, average vehicle speed. You have vehicle speed currently, if you want to have it on the screen rather than the analog. Battery voltage, battery current, motor speed by 1000 revolutions per minute. This trip 1, trip 2, average energy consumption, we talked about that already. And then the instantaneous energy consumption if you want to see what it's like when you're driving along, and then back up to range. We are away, indicators. Not aggressive sounding by any means, it's fine. Hopefully you've enjoyed my look around the MAXUS T90 EV. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you're interested in other commercial vehicles, there's a playlist, I'll stick it up on the screen. Hit the like button, comment, share if you think of somebody else interested in an electric pickup, and remember, if you think an EV is for you, leave it to me and I'll review. Thank you very much for watching. Huge thanks to my Patreon supporters: new Patreon Kodzo, Heinrich Leisner, Adrian Carey, Blake Boland from EV Life Ireland, Eve Daly, and Mark. Lots of ways to support the channel. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe and share, but you can also support me on Patreon. Thanks very much.